today?
It was good. It was a good practice. Guys seemed really focused, which you would expect with a big game coming up, and got pretty good energy out there. So, got a lot of work to do. As I told them, they're a good football team, and one thing that makes them good is they really execute what they do, offensively and defensively, special teams wise. I mean, they're well disciplined in their technique, so you got to be ready for it.
What is it about this Alex Grinch coached defense that has accounted for the turnaround that they've experienced under him?
Well, they're very aggressive. They've got good players. I mean, guys that are really active. Everybody that plays on their defense runs well, and you can tell they're disciplined in their techniques. If they've got a gap, they take that gap, and they're playing with a lot of confidence now. He's done a fabulous job there. I mean, he really has. And they've always had good players, but they've recruited well, but they've also fitted their scheme to the type of players that they got, and active, athletic, and there's a lot to like about it if you weren't playing them.
How much have you come across them in recruiting? It seems like you guys are doing a lot of the same guys.
Yeah, but Southern California especially. I mean, I'm sure they go out of state for a lot of their players as well, and we have I don't know what's the comparison as far as number of scholarship guys, Power 5 guys in Washington compared to Arizona, but it's probably similar. But they've done a good job recruiting, particularly in California. We run across them quite a bit.
Did DeBeer have one of his best games this past
He
week?
probably did, yeah. He was aggressive, and I'd have to look back at his grades, but it was probably his best game of the year so far, which is nice to see.
Is it a lot of it him just being healthy too? Because I know.
Oh yeah, without question. He missed a lot of time early. He wasn't 100% when camp started, and but he's a tremendous worker, and he's very intelligent, and football is really important to him. He's a great leader for us, so that was good to see. Him and Cody have really kind of split the reps at right tackle, and they're both playing pretty solid right now.
Before he got disqualified, did it feel like JJ was on the verge of a breakout game?
Mike, that's what I thought that coming in. I think JJ's going to have an opportunity to break some things out, because he's close. He's been close it a couple of times, and then he busted one run, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be his night. And then next thing you know, he's out of the game. And I think I know he was frustrated, but that was my frustration as much as anything, that you felt that he was going to have a night. But that's what it was.
Are you surprised he hasn't had that big 100+
Not
yard
really,
game as
not
of yet?
really. The way they've been playing us a little bit, and he's been splitting carries. I mean, he's played well. It's not like he hadn't played well. But, their teams have played him and tackled him well, but he's been close. They said he had the big run in the last game that he was down, but he's one of our most explosive players, and so it's good to have him healthy, but we need him playing, and so that penalty was a tough one.
What do you think of the way Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles has played this year? It seems like he's just about the steadiest guy you've got.
He's been steady. He opened up, played really well, had a couple nice interceptions early, and then he had a couple games where we thought he could probably play a little bit better. But it's really important to him. He understands us, our scheme. He does a great job of helping get other guys lined up. And I thought he played more aggressively in that game than he had in a couple previous games. So he's a good football player.
What's your assessment of the field goal unit kicking at this point?
Well, I'm a little nervous at it. We've had changed snappers a couple times, and we haven't been. I still always hold my breath every time, even though Josh has kicked solidly. I think the deeper kicks would probably have to be Lucas, but the snap issues we've corrected, but the protection's been solid. It just you'd rather get 7. The way teams can score nowadays, I usually hate to settle for field goals anyway.
It seemed like they were throwing to Lorenzo's side a lot more than Jace's side. That's maybe because Jace has been playing so well. But at the end of the game, Lorenzo was able to come up with that pass breakup. Is that the kind of mentality you want to see in
Yeah, I don't know if it was in particular if they were looking at a guy or just the way the plays unfolded. But no, we needed a big game out of Lorenzo. And those corners nowadays, as we said, they're going to get attacked. Particularly when they're one-on-one. It seems like you watch every game at every level. There's deep balls getting thrown, and there's usually a flag or a big play one way or another. So there's a lot of pressure on corners nowadays. And our guys have played pretty well the last couple weeks.
Do you like the fact that Marcel seems to just put a lot of trust in those guys?
Well, and you have to. And, not that you can't. You can have safety help over the top, and we do different things to help them, but there are going to be times where that guy's one-on-one. And with all the spread offenses that people are going to use, and particularly in a game like this week, there's going to be one-on-one, a lot of one-on-ones throughout the course of the game.
So I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know Luke Falk has put up some big stats against you guys in his career. What do you need to do against him that you haven't done previously?
Well, we haven't been able to get any pressure. We haven't done anything as far as making great plays on the ball, haven't tackled well in space, and we haven't really done anything well. I mean, part of it's him and their offense has been really good, but it was really bad the last couple of years as far as just not being able to stop or slow down in anything. And they're not just throw it, even though they'll throw it anytime from anywhere. If you give them the right numbers in the box, and they'll run it too, and they'll keep running it till you change. So you have to be able to change things up and not just give them a simplified look.